about 588?
588. All righty, thank you. So we are choosing songs from the hymnal, and we can do two more.
437.
437. How lovely we're in. One more. Okay, call on our, do you want to sing This Is Our Land? You want God to bless us.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is our land. So we need to find the number. This is my song, 591, right?
That's fine. Love it. My left hand was in one key, and my right hand is in another. That is tricky. Not a silly one.
Not for you.
Lord,
Please join me in the welcome. Welcome to the United Church. We are a peace and justice community, a movement towards wholeness in a fragmented world. Together we create a strong sense of belonging, a safe place to flourish, and opportunities to grow in our own way and in our own time. So we will take a moment for social justice, if we have a justice moment. I think our justice moment is rolling in the door. So we could do things out of order, right? Okay. Can we do, you have a justice moment, Samuel? You want the microphone?
I have a.
That way everyone can hear you.
request
A request of prayer.
for a minister that is incarcerated in Broward, detention center. And I am trying to release him and helping him with my services. And I request for prayer.
Okay.
He's a minister,
So a request for prayers for an incarcerated minister in Broward.
You're up, Warren.
Hi, Warren.
Well, hello there.
We're taking a moment for social justice.
I meant to walk out. Because nobody was here.
I need a password over here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is really just in time. All right. So there are two actions that really seem to be appropriate for this next week. One is the terrorists and the terrible harm that they're going to do, not just in our country, but around the world, and how that is going to impact people who are lower on the income scales, are very poor, way more than it's going to impact people who are very wealthy. So it is to demand Congress that they reverse the tariffs. The thing is that Congress has the authority over all kinds of things that have to do with foreign trade. So they can do that. They can just simply say, we are done with this. We want to reverse the tariffs. None of these apply. At this point, we're going to suspend them. The second thing is saving the Institute of Museum and Library Services. That was totally wiped out. That is funding for our libraries, our public libraries, particularly it's going to hurt people in rural areas, and also for museums. And so that really affects dramatically the sense of things that bind us as communities. So those are two actions. The other thing that I included in this, and I thought we might read it together, is this this quote that I found a couple of years ago from Cory Booker. Okay? So now, what I'd like to do is this. These are all divided in, the sentences are like one part, second part. Did you get one? You didn't get one.
And Jen and I didn't get one, we're the stepchildren.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
All right. So the sentences are divided in two parts, okay? So one is show me this and da-da-da. Okay, so we're going to, this side reads the first part of the sentence. That side gets to say, where's the action? Okay, so are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Side one. Don't speak to me about your religion. Don't tell me how much you love your God. Don't preach to me your passion for your faith. In the end, I'm not as interested in what you have to tell or sell as I am in how you choose to live and live. Amen to that.
So there is a promise in the Bible that in the end, three things will remain: faith, hope, and love. And Jesus echoes that in his teaching about the greatest commandment. Put up the next slide. Who has this clicker? Okay. Love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. So I'm wondering how you define love and how you define faith and how you define hope. If those are the two things that remain. I have one more question. Well, you know me better than that. How do you feel when what you hope for doesn't work out? Those are our centering questions as we continue our Lenten journey on the path of resurrection. So I invite you to take a deep breath to settle, center, to ponder. What are you hoping for? What are you hungry for? What are you grieving? What are you lamenting? Come, Holy Spirit, come with wisdom, kindness, compassion. Shine the light of your love in us, through us, among us. Open our hearts, our minds, our eyes. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on us. You are invited to continue praying by lighting a candle for someone that you love. Let us also light a candle for those who are wrongly incarcerated. Come when you are ready.
night, hear us pray. Our faces down, our hands are raised. You called us out, you turned away, you turned away. The shipwrecked faith, the idols rise. We do what is right in our own eyes. Our children now pay the price. We need your light. Please shine your light. We've ever needed you. Yes, it's now. Yes, it's now. We are desperate for your hand. We're reaching out. We're reaching out. All our hearts, all our strength, with all our minds, we're on our knees. May your kingdom come in our hearts and lives. Let your church arise. Let your church arise. If we've ever needed you, yes, it's now. Yes, it's now. We are desperate for your hand. We're reaching out. We're reaching out. If we've ever needed you, yes, it's now. Yes, it's now. We are desperate for your hand. We're reaching out. We're reaching out. We never needed you. Yes, it's now. Yes, it's now. We are desperate for your hand. We're reaching out. We're reaching out. We need you now. Revive us now. We need you now.
This is the fifth Sunday of Lent, with Lent being a holy season, which leads us to Easter. During the season of Lent, we are following the circles and the spirals of awareness as a moving meditation, symbolically and physically. As we make our way to the center, we release, we let go to create space. When we get to the cave at the center, we stay as long as we need to. That is the place of resurrection, the tomb, or the womb of liberation. We leave the center receiving, following the circles and spirals until we end at the beginning. We walk this path seeking liberation, sanity, salvation. Today's gospel readings take place in the Garden of Gethsemane, shortly before the crucifixion. They are filled with reminders of how it feels when what we hope for doesn't work out.
Good morning, everybody. So these first few verses of where I was living on Thursday. And I just want to take a moment and thank God that it's Sunday. Oh my God, why? Why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from me, from my deliverance, from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry by day and you do not answer, and by night and there is no rest for me, yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our mothers and fathers trusted. They trusted and you rescued them. To you they cried and were freed. And you they trusted and they were not put to shame. But I am a worm and not human, scorned by humankind and despised by people. All who see me mock me. They flap their lips at me, they shake their heads. Commit yourself to the saving one. Let God rescue you and deliver the one in whom God delights. Yet it is you who drew me from the womb, keeping me safe in my mother's breast. On you I was cast from birth, and since my mother's womb, you have been my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, and there is none to help. That's Psalm 22 as translated by Dr. Will DeGaffney, and just go into the second one. And now we're going to listen to Living Psalm 22 by Sunny Gray.
And it's interactive.
It's right, I'm sorry. Now we're going to interactively listen and speak in bold in Living Psalm 22. Where's the beginning? Sometimes you feel so far from me. I groan and cry and toss at night. I want to hear you.
And there's silence.
I want to see you.
And you escape me.
I want to grasp you.
And I'm barely holding on.
I know my ancestors wrestled like this.
I know they found a way to trust you.
I know they are with me in the waiting.
I know they made their way to deliverance.
There are those who would shame me, mock me, make me small.
They wield their words, their stares, their fists.
Their ignorance, their well intentions, they shake their heads that I exist.
But my cause is the love of God.
The one whose womb I was formed in.
The one who knows me fully. The one who celebrates my choice.
And holds me close to her breast in my sorrows. When fear and anxiety encircle me,
You pour me out like water.
I flow with my breath and body and changes.
My heart melts for others, and I look for where I can help.
Turn us from our harms.
And lead us to healing. Turn us from our abuse of power.
And lead us to humility. Turn us from being trodden.
And lead us to create good trouble.
Turn us from our shame and give us sweetness of pleasure. Turn us from our busy
And give us stillness.
Turn us from our fear.
And give us courageous prayer. Turn us to you.
That comes to the cross, rests in the tomb.
And the dawn that still comes.
In this, your name is so amazing.
I will tell everyone.
I will sing of the ways you have touched my soul.
I'm in awe of your love.
And I live in that love, not for me only, but for those who will come.
To increase this heaven on earth for our children and their children and their children.
For all living beings and creation, God, sometimes you feel so close. I shout and I laugh and I sing in your radiant sight.
I see you, I hear you, I hold on to the cross and beyond.
Hallelujah. Ancient Wisdom from Mark 14, translated by the current wisdom of Reverend Dr. Wilda Gaffney. Jesus and his disciples went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, you all, that sounds southern to me. Okay. Y'all sit here while I pray. He took with him Peter and James and John and began to be deeply moved and distressed. And he said to them, my soul is deeply grieved to the point of death. You all stay here and stay awake. And going a little further, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that, if possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I want, but what you do. Jesus came and found them all sleeping. And he said to Peter, Simon, are you sleeping? Could you not stay awake 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you all may not come to the time of trial. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. And once again, he went away and prayed, saying the same thing. And once more he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy, and they did not know what to say to him. Jesus came a third time and said to them, Are you all sleeping still and taking your rest enough? The hour has come. Look, the Son of Woman is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let's go. See, my betrayer is at hand.
For me, those are heart-breaking readings. Reverend Dr. Wilda Gaffney describes them as expressions of holy sorrow over a world which not only crucifies, but is crucified. My God, why? Is what broken hearts cry. In addition to learning from Reverend Gaffney, we are also learning from Margaret Wheatley. And today we're exploring her understanding about the way that hope and despair are connected. I don't know about you, but I feel that. Hopeful, despair, hope, despair. And I experienced them in light of my anti-racism training, which 2 lessons that stand out are to feel what you feel and to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And those are hard lessons, hard lessons. I'd rather deflect. I'd rather stay really, really busy. I'd rather do anything than feel what I feel. Aren't you glad you're not like me? Margaret Wheatley says that hope and despair are 2 sides of the same coin. The Buddhists say they're actually one emotion, which gives a whole new meaning to mood swings. Hope and despair are forever intertwined and interconnected, which is why the minute, I'm going to use I statements, why the minute I don't get something I'm hoping for, my heart sinks. It's a flip, coin flip from hope to despair. And on top of that, the greater the hope, the deeper the despair. Which makes me wonder about Jesus. Do you think Jesus was hopeful? I'd like to think so. Do you think Jesus understood hope the way we understand hope? But I don't know. Do you think there's more than one way to understand hope? Oh, I like you open-minded people. I do believe that Jesus, like us and like all hopeful people, want to make a difference, want to make the world a better place. And Wheatley, as I understand her, is a cultural critic. So she's kind of standing outside looking in. And her perspective is this, that people like us who want to make a difference are often blinded by myths and false promises. And one of those false promises is, the more we are hopeful, the more energy we'll have. The more we are hopeful, the more focus we will have. The greater the hope, the greater the conviction. And the conviction that I think most of us are living with is that we humans can make a difference. That we humans can stop the chaos and the destruction which is rapidly falling around us. And her observation is that we are placing our faith in our own ability. We're relying on our human abilities, and when we do that, that leads us to make some pretty prideful proclamations, such as, we can do this if we stick together. In solidarity, there's power. It's up to us, if only there were more of us. She calls those emotions. We insist that we can fix this without considering the fact that we live in a world of living systems with laws and patterns which are alive and active. When I hear that, I think about Paul's description in the Bible, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. We're wrestling against principalities and powers, right? Spiritual forces. We assert that when we place our faith in our ability to energize our hope, when we have faith that we can do this or stop this or change this because we're strong, those beliefs are rooted in arrogance. It is the proclamation that we are masters of the universe. And that is dangerous. Dangerous because when our efforts fail, our hearts sink. And then we begin grasping for straws, rationalizing, denying, blaming. If only more people showed up. If only we would work harder. If only more people were involved. Not only do we think we need more people, but we also have this false belief that we just need to teach them. Prideful arrogance, prideful proclamations rooted in arrogance. Ouch, right? Ouch. That's why I want someone to read this book with me. That kind of hopeful thinking has become, in her teachings, a cultural addiction, which is referred to as hopium. Irrational, unwarranted optimism. In the Urban Dictionary, hopium is described as an addiction to false hopes. It is the state of wallowing in self-pity combined with a delusion of potential greatness. In her article, Freeing Ourselves from the Addiction to Hope, Wheatley describes the pattern. She says, we can't imagine making it a day without being hopeful. And like all addicts, we get caught up in this craving, which means we need more and more hope to feel it. Like all addicts, we don't question the drug. We don't question the negative side effects. We just look for more ways to get it. And through the haze of addiction, we become confused and unable to see or think clearly. I get that. I believe that. I live that. And I also wonder if it's not hope, what else is there? What else is there? If clinging to hope as a primary motivator isn't going to work for us, what else is there? How do we move forward in this world which is being crucified? Morally, financially, physically, spiritually, etc., etc. I just want to say a little side note here. Wheatley's stuff is well researched. She has really dug into the history of the rise and the fall of empires and civilizations. And she says that we move forward by becoming warriors for the human spirits, and we do that by creating islands of sanity where people can practice creativity, kindness, generosity. And she also says we get there by changing the questions that we're asking. Changing the questions for me is where the work is, like that's the cave where I stay trying to figure out. I can change the questions on the surface, but to digest them and internalize them, that's the work. So these are the two questions that Wheatley proposes and around which I'm circling, and I invite you to circle with me. Number one, I used to ask, what's wrong? How can I fix it? Now we ask, what's possible? And who cares? And the second question is, what is needed right here and right now? What does the person right beside me need? What does the clerk at the store need? What does the person who just cut me off in traffic need? Can I say, what do counter protesters need, or is that hitting too close to home? What do they need, and am I the right person to contribute? That question shifts the focus to the present, to the here and the now and the immediate, and to our neighbor, to the person right next to us. Changing the questions opens our eyes to new possibilities. Is Wheatley's promise? I guess it's also a biblical promise. Stay awake. Stay awake. Keep your eyes open. In order to discern and determine how we can best be useful, we have to open ourselves up to the world. And that includes the person right next to us. And that's how we can create change for the people, including ourselves, who are immersed in a broken and fragmented world. And that includes in opening ourselves to sorrow. Here comes the hard part. This is the part I don't want to do. Opening ourselves to the world as it is and the needs of the people in it means feeling intense sorrow, intensifying grief, overwhelming sadness. Yikes. Can't we just send a text? Can't we just send an email? Do we have to feel it too? That's the question I'm asking. And then, I thought about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. And I thought about my anti-racism training. Feel what you feel, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Sorrow, grief, and sadness are constant companions. And they are the consequences of staying awake. You can close your eyes if you want to, but if you stay awake, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel sorrow, grief, sadness. How many times did Jesus tell the disciples to stay awake in today's Bible reading? Sorrow, grief, and sadness are the consequences. Heartbreak is the price we pay for having our eyes open. Do you agree with that? Heartbreak is the price we pay to knowing what's going on around us. Broken hearts release another kind of energy, healing energy. Broken hearts release compassion. Broken hearts release love, kindness. I can't tell you how many times I've been with, and myself, have gone through the worst thing I could ever imagine and say, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that never happens again. I want to make sure nobody else has to feel that. That's the power of a broken heart. Bell Hooks describes love. Whoops, one more. Bell Hooks, if you don't know her, look her up. Describes love as the willingness to sacrifice on behalf of someone else. The willingness to nurture spiritual, emotional growth for our neighbors and in ourselves. There's a few more myths that we suggest we release. So in addition to releasing that myth that we humans are unstoppable and indomitable, we also are being invited to release that myth that progress is always inherent. Things should always be moving. And we release this myth by turning to nature, by considering the lilies, as Jesus says, which remind us life is not progressive. Nothing rolls out in a straight line. It's seasonal and it's cyclical. The goal in nature is not success. The goal of nature is not to make progress. It's to survive, right? Survival includes moving backwards, moving forwards, backwards, forwards. Circling out, falling back. Think about the water. all around. Think about the leaves. As we consider releasing the myth of progress, focusing instead on survival, we must also, we don't have to must anything. Cross that word out. We can also receive the wisdom of tipping points. Y'all know about tipping points? When we, okay, I'm gonna change it to I. When I am blinded by my old ways of thinking, and when I summon my faith to believe if only enough people can join in, we can tip the energy in a new direction. Wheatley suggests there's a different truth which will set us free. Tipping points are directional, they are real. And once a system has been tipped, there is no untipping. There's a lot to think about there. Instead of tipping, focuses on mitigating. Focuses on mitigation, not reversal. There's a whole sermon in there. Y'all need to read this book with me. But I want to close with a reminder that in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus did not turn to the disciples and say, see, we made a little progress. Neither did he say, let's hope for the best. Neither did he say, look how big our group is getting, if only we could get some more people. He fell on his face with overwhelming grief. He fell under the weight of intensifying sadness over a world which both crucifies and is crucified. And he said to the disciples, keep your eyes open, stay awake, feel what you feel. Allow the sadness to break your heart open. Release that healing compassion. When we are motivated by love and not hope, we can discover new ways to be useful. We can discover more ways to lend support, to care, and to console. When we are motivated by love, not hope, the darkness of the future can bring us into the light of the present moment, which is filled with opportunities to make a difference. I also want to offer the reminder that we end at new beginnings, and in the end, faith, hope, and love remain. With hope being rooted in a blessed double negative. Sorry, school teachers. What is it that you can't not do? What is it that you can't not do? What are you committed to? What are you going to do regardless of anything else? What are you called to? That's the blessed double negative, what you can't not do. In that context, oh, there you are, Kathy. Hope is not the conviction that everything's going to turn out well. Hope is the certainty that something is worth doing, no matter how it turns out. Amen. I don't know if I want to say Ashe. That's a lot to digest, isn't it? To think about hope that way. This is the time that we once again move out of our seats. We come to the table to share the feast, remembering no matter who you are or where you are in your journey, you are welcome here. You are welcome to the bread of life. You are welcome to the cup of love. it is here in abundance. We also bring forward our offerings. You are invited to touch the water, light a candle, leave your prayer request. We serve one another the bread as a reminder that we are in this together. We do nurture and nourish one another. We serve the bread by intention. We dip it into the cup of love. I'm gonna move that because this is messy. Life is messy. Love is messy. Come, for all things are. Choosing instruments is kind of like going down like the cookie aisle, cereal aisle. Gotta get just the right one. This is your opportunity to stand up if you want to stand up.
We are all one. Thank you.
You are invited into the closing circle or closing shake, as the case may be.
Could I have Jan and Lisa's, one of them, email?
I like to stand behind that because I can see everyone. There we go. This is your opportunity to share a thought with each other as we prepare to move away, and then we also will move into announcements.
I'm happy Chris is down for a visit.
Yay!
She's doing
I'm always happy to
a
come
dog
There you
sit thing, so I got a
Yes.
very small two-week island to stand in, and it's gone again.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We're glad you're here, Chris.
Always good to come here. Thank you for holding on to the word liberation, since we heard it used in a really cynical way this last week.
Yes.
And I have to say that I did feel hope at the demonstrations yesterday. I saw people I knew and it was heartening. But part of the reason I felt hope had to do with the Václav Havel quote, which is I talked to several, well, women in particular who said, I just want to tell my grandkids that I did something. I didn't want to say that I didn't even pay
Yes.
attention.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
When you asked what Jesus would have thought about hope, I could be way off, but what came to me right away is I think Jesus would have thought of hope in the long term. And human nature is to be very impatient, and we do something, we don't see results immediately, and we lose hope. But love wins in the end. It might win tomorrow, but it might win 10 years from now.
Well said. Thank you, Mindy.
Which is where the patience comes in.
I felt strongly about the broken heart being a source of compassion.
Painfully true. Broken hearts are sources of compassion.
I'd like to remind everybody that Thursday at 10:30, I think probably today, this time, we should pray for the people who are incarcerated that shouldn't be there, and particularly Gonzalo. Particularly Gonzalo, who is a religious minister, brought up in the church all his life, and he's in prison right now. So we can pray for him as well as.
Thank you, Mom. Anyone else?
I want to thank you, Donna. There was so much to think about in this, and I believe that humans, and that I or we are not the rescuers or bringers of hope, but I believe the hope that God brings is undeniable, unshakable, will not be bowed down, and will not be diluted ever.
My mother's favorite saying is hope is our anchor. And I got some new insights into that today. Echo your
Are we still online? Happy birthday, Tony. Happy
birthday,
Tony. We love you.
And get better soon, Diane.
Yes.
And Chris's birthday is tomorrow.
Anything else?
This is tomorrow too. Oh, you did say it. I'm sorry.
So, council,
An announcement?
yes, an announcement.
The library down here, the Southeast Library this afternoon, 2 to 4, will host a living libraries, and it's like being human libraries of people that'll be talking about their experiences in their work, like astronomers and people who start museums like the Lincoln Hill Museum, and people who do historical illustrations. Yeah.
All righty. So 2 to 4 at the we're in St. John's. Southeast Library. Okay. Thank you for that. Council's moved to next week. So this week we'll have the book study group if you want to stay for that. Anything else? Other announcements?
I don't know if anybody is doing the journaling for Lent, but I kind of been stepping away, but living some things. And, well, I do deal, but when I haven't been at church as much, but what I want to say is what a gift this online thing is. I don't always like it, it just feels distant. But this was the first time I dove into it, and I watch it every, either on Sunday or Monday, and then I kind of come up with questions for the Lenten prompts for journaling. And I just want to encourage people, thank you for doing this. It's got to be a hassle to put it together and put it out there. But it's not just for us, it's for the whole world to see.
Yes.
And I'm liking that. And I haven't felt distant at all from the church. I felt connected. But it's just been a nice way to do it. And so thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, as we step away from the space, well, first we step to the table for refreshments, and we go remembering that we are blessed, and we are blessings, and we go in peace.
Great, welcome back.